What's up, everybody? This is Whiskey in the Six. I'm Rob. Today I'm actually going to do a whiskey glass rundown for you. I'm going to give you my top 3 whiskey glasses and which one I think personally is the best. Now, this is extremely subjective. The whiskey industry as a whole is super subjective, but whiskey glasses in particular is probably one of the most subjective things in the entire industry, because everybody likes it a little bit different. Some people like it with ice, some people like it without, all those different things. Some people don't want a very strong nose. Some people want a very concentrated nose. They want to be able to smell their scotch, their whiskey, their bourbon. So I'm going to tell you which ones are my favorite, which ones I would pretty much eliminate right off the hop. And I'm very curious what you think. So please share your thoughts in the comments below. Over here to my left is a regular rock tumbler. All right, this is typically used with ice. You'll see this next to decanters. It's a very nice looking glass, this one in particular. However, it's not my go-to when it comes to whiskey. I don't really put ice in my whiskey at all, so this doesn't work for me. But if you're the type that likes ice, this would be pretty good. Another option, if you like ice but you still want a little bit of nose concentration, is this Glencairn Canadian whiskey glass. Now, this was made a long time ago. I don't know if they're still being made. I wouldn't be surprised if they are. They called it a Canadian whiskey glass, which in my opinion is a little bit insulting, because the nose versus the regular Glencairn is a lot bigger, but which, you know, has its implications. But if I'm gonna go with ice, I'll probably go with something like this. I actually like to put my cocktails in this glass here if the ice will fit. If I have a big square ice, I'll put it in this and have an old fashioned. But those are probably my least favorite. Then as we work in are my next least favorite, starting over here on my left. This glass is a typical whiskey glass that you'll see with whiskey sets. I'm not sure why exactly. The base is very heavy. It's not bad. The nose is decent. The mouth, I mean, is decent. It still has a bit of a tulip shape to it, but it doesn't really deliver the way I like, and it's not the most comfortable in my hand. Next would be this tall stem tulip glass. Not a big fan of it. I think it's good, but I don't love long stems because it's more to break. And I don't really love the look of nosing out of something like this personally, but that's preference. Over here to my left, in 4th place, so we're getting down to the top 3, is this guy right here. Nothing wrong with it. I don't love the super round base. It's hard to determine how much whiskey you poured in there. I know that sounds strange, but the base is super large, so it looks like you've chinsed out on your friends when you pour out of this glass. I don't love it, aesthetically especially, but even when you're using it to nose and taste, it's not my favorite. Probably my top 3 are right over here. Over here, the Copita is very nice. I don't love the stem. I think that's the only problem with the Copita. I would go maybe an inch shorter, just a small stem, just for durability purposes. But they're really cool. I love the upper shape of it, and ultimately it's one of my favorite glasses. But down to the 2 here, Norlin is my number 2. And the reason why Norlin is my number 2 is I do feel it's very comfortable to hold. It's whenever I want to pour and play whiskey, I'm going with the Norlin. My only issue is the rim is a little too thick. So when you're sipping, there's some spillage, all right? And it's not the best. So that's, I guess, my only knock on the Norlin. Otherwise, they're pretty good. I think they're overpriced, to be honest with you. Last time I checked, they were over $50 for 2. I don't know if it's still the case, but price-wise, I definitely wouldn't buy the Norlin. If you could find it for cheap or something that looks very similar to the Norlin for cheaper, then go with something like that. I do like the idea also that it doesn't get influenced by your hand. Sometimes I want to warm my whiskey, sometimes I don't. So that's probably why the Norlin is 2nd place. Ultimately, I hold my Glencairn. This is my number 1. I hold my Glencairn here, and it's easy to know how much you poured. All right, when you get to about the roundest part of the bulb, you're in and around 2 ounces. We always try to stay under that. It's just overall, nosing, tasting, for me, I'm a Scotch guy. This is the best one. Canadian single malts as well. I'm gonna drink them out of my Glencairn. It's the best in my opinion. This is 10 years of Whiskey in the Six almost. It'll be 10 years, December 2025. So it's over 9 years. And I've always leaned toward the Glencairn. Ultimately, it's my favorite. It's the best for single malts. It's the best for nosing in my opinion. Again, this is super subjective. I'm curious what you guys think. How would you rank this? So just to kind of go over, my top 3 would be 3rd place Kopita, 2nd place Norlin, 1st place is the Glencairn. How would you rank it? Are any of these ahead of the Glencairn, the Kopita, or the Norlin? Which one would you take out? Let me know in the comments below. Hope you like this video, guys. I know it's not for everybody, but I thought I'd throw something different in there, switch it up once in a while. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you really like the video, hit the subscribe button. If you haven't already, you can hit the bell to get notifications for when I do release videos. You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and you can join the Facebook Whiskey in the Six chat. It's a lot of fun. We're having a lot of fun in there, so join us. You can also support this channel on Patreon if you like, for as little as $1. Cheers.